So, this Friday, the 8th of May, is the 75th anniversary of VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. And we would have been having a bank holiday, I guess, but...
we'll still have a bank holiday.
We'll still have,
yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But it's a special anniversary for us because it would have been Jenny's parents' 75th anniversary. They were married on the 5th of May, 1945. You're going to correct me if I get this wrong, of course.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, and they had the honeymoon actually on VE Day. Now, Jenny's dad was in the RAF, so we're going to show you some photos, but I'm going to pass you over to Jenny.
Yeah, so my dad was wearing his RAF uniform on their wedding day, 5th of May 1945, and we have some photos that he actually scanned in 2006.
Right.
And saved to CDs. So we'll show you those in this video. What I also have is his logbook, and this is fascinating, because
this is
shows
the RAF logbook.
The RAF logbook,
yeah.
It shows all his training and the flights that he navigated. He joined the RAF in 1943 when he was 20 years of age,
yeah.
And he served until his release day on the 28th of January 1947.
Yeah.
So this is fascinating. It records all his different things. I think that's actually the last flight he did, October 1945.
Right.
During that period.
Okay.
So we're going to start with some photos that he scanned.
Yep. I'll pass you that back. Right. So this is the first photo.
Yeah. This is his training in November 1943 at 31 Air Navigation School, Port Albert, Ontario, Canada. Yeah.
So we'll try and find a picture of that and put that up here.
Yeah, that's right, where exactly it was.
Yeah.
So this is where he did his main training, and his training was as a wireless operator, and he did a course between December the 1st, 1943, and his starting his navigation course, and
July 1944.
14th.
No, you can't start that again. 14th of July 1944.
Yeah, so he did these courses between December the 1st, 1943 and 14th of July 1944.
Yeah.
And according to his logbook,
yeah.
he navigated for
151.2 hours. Oh, I suppose that's 20 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. And 9,705 minutes by day and 5,415 by night, either as a first or a second navigator and wireless operator.
Right.
Okay. These are pictures in Canada. I don't know
who these people are really, unfortunately, but obviously they're his mates and everything.
Yeah, they've all got the hats on
sideways
for some reason. Yeah. That's another one when they're obviously outside. That's my dad on the very right there.
On the far right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here he is in the middle.
Yeah.
They're outside the officers' quarters there.
Right.
He's the one in the middle. This is obviously some of his friends as well.
Didn't they look young?
He's only about 20, 21 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one right in the front in that picture.
Yeah. Third from the left.
Yeah. And he's the one in the middle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got their training outfit on, haven't they? Because it shows they're in training with the white belt and the white sash on their helmets, or sometimes they had it on their arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now this looks like we've moved into summer here. So I think he may have then started his training in Scotland.
Yeah.
Because he arrived at AFU Wigtown.
Yeah.
In December 1944, and he was training there until January the 12th, 1945.
So he actually flew over places we visited, didn't they?
Yeah. He navigated for 44 hours and 5 minutes. With 5 minutes was vital. Yeah. 20 hours 25 minutes by day, and 23 hours 40 minutes by night. And as you say, he flew over places we visited in our video. Lots to see in Galloway.
Which we'll put a link up here above Jenny's head.
Yeah. Which includes a brief visit to what remains of RAF Wigtown.
Right.
So these are just, I presumed he was obviously getting on a train or getting off a train in that one.
Yeah. a typical sort of American-looking train, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
carriage, anyway.
I think this is in his garden, probably on leave from some of his trainings.
Still in Canada?
No,
Oh,
I think
right.
he's back in, because he was at RAF Wigtown,
Okay,
think, at this sort of time.
Yeah, so did he come home then?
I think he came home on leave, and I think that man that he's sitting with was the best man at the wedding.
Okay.
Because it looks
You
like
don't know his
him.
name?
Cliff, somebody.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there he is in it. This looks like a summer uniform to me,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
still in training because he's got
Awesome.
the white
Yeah.
sash on his arm.
For those of you watching in colour.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know what colour it is.
No.
I suppose
no.
it's khaki, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And that's with another friend, and
Yeah.
then he's obviously at home in the garden or somewhere there, and he's just his summer outfit.
Because your dad wasn't very tall, was he? He was about 5'6", wasn't he?
No, that's where I get my big height.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this picture, I don't know. This seems to have been a training one.
Yeah.
He's in this picture. I think he's in the.
Yeah.
He's normally in the first or second row, being short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've actually got one of these pictures up on the wall, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So.
Right, so this is what he flew on, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is.
Get rid of that bit of paper.
After his training was complete,
Yeah.
after he's been at RAF Wigtown, I found that he was in Derbyshire. I didn't know this.
No, okay.
And it was only for a short time. It's from 20th of February to 1945 to 30th of April 1945. And it was at 270UT. And I don't know what OUT stands for.
No,
but it's
a T for training, I guess.
I guess the T's for training.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on, go
Yeah,
on.
at Church Broughton in Derbyshire.
Broughton. Yeah,
Broughton.
Yeah.
And it was on Wellingtons, so these
right.
are a couple
Pictures
of
of
pictures of
Wellingtons.
Wellingtons.
Is that a stock photo, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, not photos he's done. Right, so then I found an interesting bit in his logbook.
Yeah.
They got married on May the 5th, 1945.
Mm-hmm.
My mum used to say to me he had to rush around getting some signatures
Yeah.
to get the time off, because
Right.
obviously it was a crucial time towards the end of
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
I looked in his logbook and I found that on May the 1st at 21:20,
Right.
he made a special flight to RAF Wigtown.
Yeah.
So that's where his base was. I think they obviously sent him out to Derbyshire to train on Wellingtons.
Yeah.
But he had to go back to his main base at that time, RAF Wigtown,
Yeah.
and he flew as first navigator with a Flight Lieutenant Lomas,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. This is
To get
in
his
the book.
papers signed,
Yeah.
that's in the book,
Yeah.
to get his papers signed for leave to get married.
Right.
So he managed to secure all the necessary signatures by, would
Yeah.
you believe,
Yeah.
15:20 on the 2nd of May, and flew with Flight Lieutenant Perkins back to Derbyshire.
Yeah.
He then got a train home, and I remember my mum said he came round
Yeah.
and said, I've managed to get back, and she said, we're not supposed to be seeing each other,
No.
go away.
Yeah.
He'd come back by train to St Albans, ready just about in time for the wedding on May the 5th.
Yeah. So this is the wedding.
This is the wedding,
Yeah.
and the wedding took place at St Peter's Church, St Albans,
Yeah.
I think 2:00 in the afternoon, but
Right.
I'm not sure.
Wow. Yeah.
Followed by a reception at the Water End Barn. You
Yeah.
remember that, don't
I
you?
remember the watering barn. Yeah.
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 There's only 2 photos though. This
Yeah.
is the first one,
Yeah.
obviously, of
It's a good job
them
it didn't go
together.
on then, isn't it?
Diz, because there's only yeah, yeah, it's not a lot.
No.
So that's obviously mum and dad together.
Yeah.
Don't need any more explanation, does it?
No.
I think my mum hired the dress.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. This is the only other photo, and this is obviously them with the bridesmaid
Yeah. The best man.
and the best man. You see, that's
Yeah.
why I think in that other photo he's with that
He's with
man,
him,
because he
okay.
looks very similar.
Yeah. So if anyone knows who that man is,
I think he
Cliff something.
Cliff. Well, it says on the next bit.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is a
blimey.
newspaper cutting that
Yeah.
my dad kept, and that says,
Well, I was going to struggle to read that, but
yeah, it basically says that the mum, Miss Mildred Mary Chapman,
Yeah.
and my dad, youngest son of Mr. and Mrs. H.
Yeah.
Sayer.
Okay, so Mr. A.C. Coleman carried out.
Yeah,
the
but
duties
I
of
think they
best
called him Cliff.
Right.
Cliff was obviously his middle
Middle
name,
name,
and Eileen Gathercole was my mum's bridesmaid. She lived in Harrogate.
Okay.
Yeah, she never married, and she lived in Harrogate.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So moving on. Yeah. So they then left for the honeymoon in Hove, Sussex that afternoon.
Yeah.
And they were in Hove when the announcement of the end of the war came. So these are honeymoon pictures.
Yeah.
So there they are down on the beach.
On the beach.
Yeah. I assume that's at Hove.
Yeah.
And there they are walking along the front.
Yeah, in their summer uniforms.
I think they got one of the, these photography people that are there. I think they took a load of these for them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there they are. It says cycle hire £1 in the background. Yeah.
I didn't see that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he returned from honeymoon according to his logbook, on the 6th of June, and he started his final training on Lancasters at
North Killingham.
No. Before that, he went to 1667 HCU, Sandtoft, Belton, North Lincolnshire.
Okay.
And until the 6th of July, so he must have spent about a month there.
Yeah.
He actually joined the squadron.
Yeah.
The squadron was the 550 Squadron, based at North Killingham, Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
And his logbook records that between, so that's the squadron when it was formed, and then when it was disbanded.
So it's October in 1945 that disbanded it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he's there. The war in Europe has finished, but the war in Japan is still going on.
Yeah. So he was obviously thinking that it might
they were thinking he was going to go to Japan. They were in the list to go.
Yeah.
I think they were due to go sort of the August time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, during the July-August period, he navigated Lancasters as part of Operation Dodge.
Okay.
And the idea of that was to bring home troops from Italy.
Yeah. This
is the base, RAF Killingham. It's a recent photo got from the internet. And this is my dad I think looks like I thought it was a Christmas photo, but
it looks like it's like Ollie or something in the background.
Yeah, so I think it's from...
Yeah, and that's obviously the squadron.
Yeah, that's
sorry, do you want to go
there? Sorry, I was just going to point out that is my dad there.
Right.
He's got everybody else has got a pint, he's got a half pint.
Yeah.
he never could drink much,
no.
A bit like me really.
No.
And this is the picture of the navigators that were attached to the squadron.
Yeah.
And he's the second on the left on the first row, sitting down.
Yeah, okay.
There's obviously short again, so he's sitting at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, so other aircraft from the base took part in Operation Manor.
All right. I've got another wedding photo there. But...
Yeah, that's you've gone on to.
Sorry, you control it.
Yeah. So other aircraft from the base took part in Operation Manor, which was dropping food supplies to the Netherlands and Belgium.
Okay.
So the base at North Killingham closed on the 31st of October 1945, and that's the last entry in my dad's logbook.
Right.
However, you can move on now.
All right.
He remained in the RAF for another year, and he's wearing his RAF uniform at his brother John's wedding in May 1946.
Who incidentally took those videos of our wedding.
That's right, yes he did. Yeah, so that's my Auntie Mary, and I'm sorry I don't know who the bridesmaid was, but obviously my dad was the best man.
Yeah.
Now, they also had more photographs to be taken at these weddings. There's quite a few. I've only got a couple of them, so I've got this one, and then the following one is a family shot, and with the help of my mum and other people I've contacted on Ancestry, I've more or less got the group on the left, and I know who they are. They're either sisters of my granny. My granny, my dad's mum, is on the far left of this picture in the hat, standing next to my mum. Yeah. And then my dad's dad is standing in between my dad and his brother. Yeah, and you've traced a lot of these people on Ancestry. That's right. Yeah, I've got quite a, and I met quite. My granny is called Oliphant, and I met quite a few people on the internet through Ancestry who've been researching the same family. All right. But I'm a bit vague who a lot of the people on the right are. I think they were neighbours and things like that. Yeah. Right, so we move on to the next. But when he came out of the RAF, they lived with my mum's parents.
Yeah. Yeah. You can move it on.
In Welwyn Garden City. So
Yeah.
that's where that comes in.
Right.
At Brick Wall Cottages, which is just off the Great North Road.
Yeah,
the
it's all
original
been
A1.
knocked into a sort of big cottage. There's about 3 cottages there.
No, it's not that one. No,
No?
it's still a cottage,
Okay.
still a standalone cottage. And I found a picture of it. It came up for sale a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was on one of the estate agents at 450,000.
Wow.
I mean, my granddad would be absolutely amazed.
Yeah, tiny little cottage.
But it had completely been redone inside, and he looked really, really nice.
Yeah.
No, it's still there. One Brickwell Cottages.
Okay.
Because my granddad was worked in the nursery there.
Yeah.
We lived in Wheatonstead, then they moved to Welwyn Garden when he got that job there.
Yeah.
When the Garden City was first being built.
Yeah.
So they moved there until they had their own there's my dad outside, and I think that's the best bridesmaid again. I think that's who's with them.
Yeah.
He is out in the garden.
Yeah.
And this
That
for
looks
about that time.
That looks like Blenheim or somewhere like that, doesn't it?
No, I think it's Hampton Court.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So they've obviously gone for a day trip there.
Yeah.
And there he is in the same suit out in the garden. Yeah. So that's basically 1946, 1947. At the back of his logbook of some fascinating letters he wrote to apply for jobs.
Yeah.
You know, his sort of list. Yeah, right on the very back.
I hadn't seen that. The letters.
Yeah, because he trained as a shorthand typist.
Yeah.
And he's typed a letter at the back there.
Oh wow.
That's not it. That's just a pension thing. That's a reference.
Yeah, Hertfordshire County Council reference.
Yeah, because he worked there before the war.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, this book.
Yeah.
That's another. That's the RAF giving him a reference.
And we didn't know about this, did we, until after your mum died?
No, but his actual letter should be in there that he typed out. And it's this one.
Yeah.
I'm 23 years of age.
This one.
Yeah. And he's applying for a job.
He listed all his qualifications on the back.
Yeah, and then the other thing he asked for his salary. He said, I would require a salary of £325 per annum. Yeah. And he's he did quite a bit of his training in the RAF, and he says subjects which I've already completed are bookkeeping, cost accounting, branch accounts, partnership law and accounts. So I'm well advanced in economics, commercial law and English.
There you go.
So that's where I get it's where I get my like in
from.
bookkeeping and things like that from. So
is that all the photos?
That's all the photos. That's the last one I took.
Yeah.
So that's my dad.
Yeah. So I hope you found that interesting. We certainly found it interesting.
Well, I spent all day yesterday. I mean, the logbook in itself is just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you see things like when he passed his course, all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fairly neat writing. The way he records when he's done his flights, and he does a little table at the bottom. And So
I mean, he was very lucky in that he never really flew in any offensive missions, did he?
No. I mean, the training I think took so long. Fortunately, but there was this thing that he was going to go to Japan. And that's when he would have gone. But we miss him, don't we? Because he helped us. Well, he and me and him started doing the accounts business.
And I joined it a little bit later.
You joined as the IT expert.
Scary, wasn't it?
It was a bit better because that's where we used to struggle. We could write databases and software and everything, but then when people wanted to put it on another computer, it just used to
So a little bit about where you came from, really, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So
That it?
I think that's it, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. And tell us what your memories of VE Day are. Let us know. Have you got any family photos you've been going through? It's difficult. We're not going to be out of the street waving the banners and bunting, obviously, but...
no. There won't be any... They were planning a lot, weren't they?
Yeah.
But that's not going ahead.
Yeah, however bad you think this is at the moment, just remember what...
Yeah. I mean, they used to talk a lot about the war years, didn't they?
Yeah.
Especially my mum did.
Yeah.
I mean, they were... On our side, I think she liked the
camaraderie.
Yeah, that's the long word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone pulling together.
Yeah.
A bit like today.
Yeah, stories of my granddad being in the Home Guard and all that sort of thing. Yeah, anyway, so that's it then.
That's it. So if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. Hit the notifications icon and you'll get updates when we do some more moto videos.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye then.
Bye then.